A very good morning, everyone. In our previous 6 videos, we have completed the concept of operator overloading, and in our last session, we have seen the example of 3 types of type conversions. Today onwards, whatever the programs we are going to start, that is based on the concept of inheritance. This is the most IMP portion of C++ as well as related with the practical exams also. So whatever the programs I am going to deliver today onwards, that thing you need to understand properly, and if you are having any doubt at that time, you can message me in the WhatsApp or WhatsApp group. So let us begin with the theoretical aspect of inheritance. The most important feature of OOP is called inheritance. Now, what is inheritance? See, when you want to have or when you want to reuse the class, or we can say when you want to derive the properties and characteristics from the other class, that concept is known as inheritance. Before explaining this theory, I would like to share one image with you so that you can understand the concept of inheritance easily. See over here, I have represented the requirement of inheritance, right? Whatever the programs up till now we have defined and whatever the programs we have performed, that is not based on the inheritance. Consider the following example. There are 3 different classes. One is called class bus, the other one is called class car, and third class is called class truck. All the 3 classes contains 3 different methods. First method is called fuel amount, second method is called capacity, and third method is called apply brakes. Again, the class car and class truck contains same method, right? So over here you are able to see that I have 3 different types of classes. One is called bus, second is called car, and third is called truck. And all the 3 classes contains 3 different methods: fuel amount, capacity, and apply brakes. But over here you are able to observe that all the 3 classes contains 3 different method which is repeated again and again. So that is unnecessary repetition of function, as well as it consumes lots of time, or it requires lot of time. In the same way, there is a chances of error, right? So it saves. See, when you are going to use the concept of inheritance, it gives you the facility of reusing. See over here, bus, car, and truck, all the 3 are the part of vehicle only. So what you need to do, you need to bifurcate this particular classes. You need to put the common code inside the particular characteristic or particular class, and in future as per requirement you can reuse that particular code. Say for example, I will definitely explain this theory, but first of all I want to share the I want to explain the image, right? So over here from this image, right, we have redefined the class called vehicle, which contains 3 different methods called fuel amount, capacity, apply brakes. When you create class bus, it contains the property of vehicle class. Similarly, class car contains the property of vehicle class, and similarly class truck also contains and reuse the property which is defined inside vehicle class. So from this example you are able to understand that instead of deriving 3 different classes which contains the same method name sorry, which contains same method name, will occupy more memory, there is a major amount of chances having error, and you are having lots of time, it consumes lots of time. So instead of that, you just need to put a common code inside one class, and later on when you are when you have a requirement to have or call that particular method, that method you can access it with the concept of inheritance. Now when you derive class vehicle, at that time this particular class is known as parent class, and this particular class is known as child class, right? Now remember one thing, that suppose whatever the property and method of parent class would be there, right? Over here we are having three different property. So these three methods can be accessed by class bus, class car and class truck. Why? Because these three are the child of class vehicle. So that can be used by the child class. But remember one thing, that whatever the properties which bus class have or car class have or truck class have, that do not be accessed by the class vehicle. Let me repeat it once again. Parent class property can be used by their child classes, but the child class property cannot be accessed by the parent class. So this thing you need to keep in your mind, because parent always have the capacity to give, to assign to their child, right? But they will never ask something from the child class. So this particular class is known as parent class, and this all the three classes are known as child classes. So child always have two types of property. Number one, their own property, as well as the properties which the parent has. Consider your example only. You are having two types of property. Say for example, you people are earning, right? Or you are doing job somewhere and you have purchased Activa from your money. At that time that Activa is considered as your property. So father will never ask to use your scooter because it is your property. But say for example, your father contains some property, right? Say for example, scooter Activa is there with your father, right? And that is the property of your father only, right? So at that time, you, your brother and your sister, all the three siblings are able to access that common Activa or that common mobile phone. But if you are having your personal mobile phone, your personal property, at that time you will not allow your father, your parent, your siblings to access your personal property. So remember one thing, when you are going to use parent-child relationship, in such cases parent always allows the child to access the property of parent class, but child will child contains its own property as well as property of parent class, but parent never asks to use property of child class. Now let us understand the theoretical portion about inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most important feature of object-oriented programming. Number 2, the capability of class to derive properties and characteristics from one another class, that is called inheritance. There are two types of classes. One class is called subclass and other class is called superclass. Now what is subclass? Subclass means what? It is also considered as a child class or derived class, right? So generally inherits property from another class. That means whatever the parent class would be, in our case there is a subclass bus, then car and truck. So these three are the derived class, child class or subclass, because it inherits the property of parent class. And in that class, what is the parent class? Vehicle class is considered as a parent class, no? Because the parent class always gives the properties, or it allows the child to use the property of that class, right? So there are two types of classes. When you use the concept of inheritance, at that time there are two types of classes. One is called superclass and other is called subclass. So subclass is what? It is generally used to inherit properties from another class. It acquires property from another class, and that is called subclass or derived class or child class. So these three are the words which can be used with each other. Next class is called superclass, which can be referred as a superclass or base class or parent class. In this, there are it gives you the facility to use the properties used by the subclass. So it allows subclass to use the property which superclass contains. There are some facts which are related with the inheritance. Number one, parents class allows all the child to access its property. Suppose there is one parent class and you are going to derive three different child classes out of one parent class. At that time, all the three classes, all the three child classes have similar rights to access property of parent class. Suppose your father is having home at that time and your father contains three child. At that time, all the three, say for example your brother or sister and you, right? So all the three child allows the equal facility to access the property of your father. Similarly, parent will never use property of child class. As I have given you the example of Activa, suppose you have purchased it from your salary. At that time, father will never ask that you will give some money to me, right? So such thing is never such thing is not possible. So parent class will never use property of child class. And third thing is what? Child class has their own property as well as the property from parent class. Remember one thing, that when you are going to use the concept of inheritance, at that time you are having two different types of properties which child contains. Number one, the property of their the property of child class as well as property acquired from the parent class. See, inheritance means what? Sometimes we people may use term that this is uh, this particular feature is in me due to the inheritance, right? Or this is in heredity. Why? Because that feature is acquired from the parent. So child has two types of property, their own property as well as the property which parent contains. This example I have already explained. Let me read out the points which is related with the previous image. You can clearly see that above process result in the duplication of code 3 times. This increases the chances of error as well as data redundancy. Data redundancy means what? Unnecessary data you are going to store or duplication of data. To avoid this type of situation, inheritance is used if we create a class vehicle and write these three functions in it and inherit the rest of classes from the vehicle class, then we can simply avoid the duplication of data and it increases reusability. So in this way you can normalize your data. When you want to use the concept of inheritance, at that time the colon symbol is used to inherit class, and this is the syntax to inherit any class. First of all, class keyword, then subclass name, then colon, it is used to inherit another class, then access mode. Access mode means what? Public, private or protected. Then the name of base class, and again the body of subclass, and bracket over and semicolon. This is the syntax of class only. With that we have used colon, access specifier, and the name of base class or parent class. There are three different modes used in the inheritance: public, private and protected. Suppose your base class is public, at that time the type of inheritance would be public. Suppose your access specifier is protected, at that time it does allow you to access the property with the help of object of that class. But suppose you have taken inheritance as a private inheritance, at that time such kind of data is not accessible by the other class, so that data is hidden. There are different types of inheritance. Generally 5 types of inheritance are available. Number 1, single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So these 5 are the different types of inheritance which you can use. Now from the name only you are able to get that single inheritance means what? When there is one base class and one derived class, at that time that inheritance is known as single inheritance. Or in the other word, you can also refer that when there is only one parent and one child relationship, such relationship is known as single inheritance. And we also have taken example, say for example person is a class, at that time you can derive student. See, person contains what? Say for example every person contains name, so that is the common characteristics. Similarly, every person contains height, weight, skin tone, right? So that all are the characteristics which you can put inside class person. Similarly, when you are going to derive student, so student is a type of person only. So whatever the characteristics you have placed inside person, in our case we have placed name, then city, birth date, gender, height, width or weight, skin tone. So these all are the characteristics which you can put inside person. And when you are going to derive student from the person, at that time name, birth date, gender, all can be accessed by the student. Now student have their own characteristics also, as we have already referred in the facts section. So student have two types of characteristics. The student have their own characteristic as well as the properties which is available with the person. Person contains name, birth date, gender, city, height, weight, skin tone. So that can be used by student, as well as student contains mark 1, mark 2, total. So in this way you can use the concept of inheritance. But this is the first type of inheritance, which is called single inheritance. In single inheritance you need to write that when there is only one base class and one derived class, or when there is only one excuse me, when there is only one parent and one child relationship, that inheritance is known as single inheritance. And we have taken example of person and student. Person contains name, gender, birth date, city, etc., which is common field, which is related with the person. Similarly, in the student you can put a list like mark 1, mark 2, total, grade, right? So student contains characteristic of person because every student has a name. Similarly, every student has a gender. So you can have common characteristic placed inside person, and in future when you are going to create class student, you can inherit properties of person class. So such kind of relationship is known as single inheritance. Next inheritance is known as multi-level inheritance, when there is one base class and one intermediate base class and one derived class. That relationship is known as multi-level inheritance. Say for example, class C, class B and class A, right? When there is one base class, one intermediate means it is sometimes it behaves like a base class and sometimes it behaves like derived class. Say for example, when this is a base class, at that time this class becomes derived class, and when this class is a base class, at that time this particular class is considered as a derived class. Now remember one thing, see, this is a grandfather class, this is a father class, and this is a child class. We can also call it, this is a grandfather class, this is a father class, and this is a child class. So child contains three properties: their own property, the property from parent class, and property from grandparent class, that is called grandfather class. So, and IBase contains properties from base and their own properties. So remember one thing in this example, derived class has three different kinds of property: property of its own, property acquired from IBase class, and property acquired from the base class. IBase class contains two type of property: their own property as well as property from the grandfather class or base class, and base class contains only single property of their own class. Over here we have taken example person, student and result. That means you can derive student class with the help of person class, and you can derive result class with the help of student class. Now see, from the name only you are able to get that when multi-level inheritance is there, at that time it must be in the form of different kinds of floor. Floor means first floor, second floor, third floor, right? So that is called level. Level 0, level 1, level 2. So when there is one base class, one intermediate base class and one derived class, such kind of relationship is known as multi-level inheritance. In this you need to write in the theory that derived class have three different types of properties, IBase class has two different kinds of property, and base class have its own property only. And when you want to create grandfather, father and child type relationship, at that time you can use the concept of multi-level inheritance. Person, student, result. Say for example, person, employee and salary. So in this way you are able to create any different types of multi-level inheritance. Next type of inheritance is known as hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance is possible when only there is one base class, and out of one base class you are going to create more than two or more derived classes. At that time that relationship is known as hierarchical inheritance. Say for example, father is there, right, and you are having two different child, student and employee. So both are referred as a person only. Student is also called person as well as employee is also a person, no? So in this way, see, this is called hierarchical inheritance. In this particular relationship, what happens? Remember one thing, that when you are going to create hierarchical inheritance, at that time you are having two or more derived classes. But remember one thing, that student cannot take property of employee and employee cannot use property of student. Both are individual ones, right? And person is called base class. So definitely student and employee both class can access property of person class, but student cannot access property of employee class, employee cannot access property of student class. So this concept is known as hierarchical inheritance. You can perform the hierarchical structure of any particular classes. Next is called multiple inheritance. See, multiple means two, right? So when there is a two base classes and you are going to derive one class using one base class, that means father, mother and child, right? So such kind of relationship is known as multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance you are having two types of base classes and you are going to derive one derived class from the using two base classes. So basically this particular derived class contains three different property acquired from the father class, property of mother class as well as their own properties. Over here we have taken example of date class, time class, and which forms when you are going to combine the property of date, the property of time, at that time you can form calendar class using the property of these two classes. So always give the meaningful example regarding inheritance, right? You need to represent the classes in such a way which represents proper use of inheritance. So over here you are able to see that we are having two different base classes, date and time, and using the property of these two classes we are able to create one new class that is called calendar class. So when there is two base classes and you are having one derived class, then it is known as multiple inheritance. So we have seen four different types of inheritance. One more inheritance is there which is called hybrid inheritance. Hybrid means virtual. Virtual inheritance means what? When you are going to combine all the types of inheritance, it becomes the concept of hybrid inheritance. So by combining more than one type of inheritance, you can implement hybrid inheritance. Over here we have taken the example. Consider class A. You are going to create class B and C, and using B and C again one new derived class can be formed. But remember one thing, there is a problem between this. Why? Because this particular class is connected with the help of indirect baseline which is referred as a dotted line. This is called indirect baseline, right? Person, you can create two classes, student and sports, and using student and sports again new class is created. But there is a problem in this particular structure that I will explain when we are going to refer with the practicals, right? When we are going to see the practical of hybrid inheritance, at that time I will explain the limitation of this type of inheritance. But right now you just need to keep in the mind that when you are going to combine one or more type of inheritance, at that time it becomes the concept of hybrid inheritance. Hybrid means you are going to merge all the concepts, all the types of inheritance in one particular inheritance. So this is all about the inheritance theory. But before concluding our today's session, I would like to recall our today's session and then we are going to complete the session. So let us quick revise with the first slide only. In the first slide we have started with the theory of inheritance. Inheritance gives you the facility to reuse the feature. It is the most important part of object oriented programming. When you are going to use the concept of inheritance, at that time two classes are formed, superclass and subclass. Superclass can be referred as a base class or parent class. Subclass can be referred as a derived class or child class. Now what is the definition of subclass? When you are going to inherit or acquire the property of another class, that is called subclass, and superclass always gives to the child, that means they allows to inherit its property to the subclass. Next is called the facts related with the inheritance. Remember one thing, that parent class always allow all the child to access its property, whether the class contains 2 child or more child, all the 3 child contains equal rights to use the property of parent class. Similarly, parent class will parent class will never ask the property of the child class, and child class has their own property as well as the property available in the parent class. Over here we have taken the example of vehicle class, but remember one thing, you can take any example. Say for example, if you want to take flower class, then lotus, rose, lily, jasmine, these all are the types of flower class. So accordingly over here you can put different types of method inside flower class also, right? Suppose you want to create class color red, green and blue, right? So red, green and blue, and when you are going to create or apply inheritance, at that time instead of vehicle you need to write flower, you need to write fruit, right? Say for example fruit, so then class apple, class banana, class mango, right? So in this way you are able to take different types of examples over here: bus, car and truck. This all the 3 classes contains 3 different methods: fuel amount, capacity and apply brakes. From this example you are able to see that unnecessary the duplication of code is repeated, and there is a chances of error and data redundancy. So for that you can use the concept of inheritance. You can combine these all functions and put it inside the vehicle class to avoid the duplication of data and increase the reusability of data. Next we have seen the image of applying inheritance. Over here we have created class vehicle, we have putted common characteristics inside the class vehicle. We have derived 3 different classes: bus, car and truck, which allows you to access the property of vehicle class. Over here we have seen the syntax of inheritance. With the help of colon you are able to inherit the class. Access mode you need to specify. After that you can give the name of base class. 3 modes: public, protected and private. Remember one thing, that if you have used private mode, at that time you are not able to access the property or method of base class. 5 types of inheritance are there: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Single means only one. So when there is one base class and one derived class, that is called single inheritance. Person and student, that is the example. Multi-level means floor inheritance, floor type inheritance. You are having base class, intermediate base class and derived class. When there is one base class, one intermediate base class and one derived class, that is called multi-level inheritance. Derived class have 3 properties: their own property, property of I base class and property of base class. Base class has 2 property: property of its own as well as property of base class, and base class have only one property, that is their own property. You can take example of person. You are able to derive student from using person class, and using student class you are able to derive result class. Next is called hierarchical inheritance, when you are going to derive two or more classes using one base class, that is called hierarchical inheritance. Over here we have derived student and employee class using person class. Remember one thing, that student cannot use the property of employee class. Similarly, employee cannot use the property of student class, but definitely both have equal right to use the property of person class. Multiple means two. When there is two base class and you are going to derive one class using that two classes, that is called multiple inheritance. Multiple, pal means two, right? So over here we have taken the example of date and time class. When you are going to combine the property of date and time class, you are going to create calendar class. Last is called hybrid, that is virtual. When you are going to combine more than one type of inheritance, it becomes hybrid inheritance, and there is a limitation of hybrid inheritance that I will explain when we are going to start with the practical of hybrid inheritance. I hope in this theory session the all the concepts which are related with the inheritance is cleared, right? So we will start with the practicals in our next session. Please refer the theory of inheritance because it is important in your practical as well as theoretical session. Thank you all.